Moment that we have been waiting for, Larry. First going out, we want to thank the organizers for bringing the team relay back. Total of 13 teams, 52 runners. They're off here, and we should make quick mention that it was Gabriel and Garant Wilkinson, Rael Bowen, and Samir Furquan who won it in 1:40.31. And now the big guy, Tyler Butterfield was just seen there. He's one of the favorites. Cal Steed always gets off to a fast start there, Larry. Total of 761 runners. Ray Swan we also saw there, and who's that character jumping up and down? Several of them out there.
All right, so we heard some regiment shows. So guys, take your name and tell me why you're running.
My name's Willie Lifeline. I'm just running for the benefit of it.
My name is Mackie Smith. I'm running for the fitness.
My name is El Moore. Running for fitness.
All right, so what do you guys got in your rucksacks?
My usual stuff I carry on a 2-week camp, or a little bit of weight, nothing too much.
Got about 40 pounds of kit, anything that I take away on operations, on exercise.
Just 30 pounds of weights.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, it's a pretty long run without weights. Just your body weight starts getting heavy. I mean, you guys got the regiment truck out just in case?
No, I'm actually one of the medics myself, so you'll be all right.
All right, we're here at Secoy Robinson, part of the PHC crew. Looks like it's got the whole team behind him. We'll see. I mean, they should be fit, so I'm sure everybody will make it to the finish line. Secoy, tell me what's going on. You guys running for charity? What are you guys doing today?
Well, we're just running to represent, PHC Zeros. I'm also being represented by Sailor One, as you can see. You guys are just running to have fun, man. Running to finish and see how you guys do. It's my first time, so we'll see what happens.
Well, y'all a pretty fit guy, man. So the ISL the other night running up and down, so you should be fine.
Yeah, that's what they say, but it's a different type of race. It's a little bit longer, so see if I can hang in on the road and see if I can hang in for at least about 2 hours or so. So we see how it goes.
All right, good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so are you guys a bit nervous? I see the long line for the bathroom. Is that nervousness?
I'm nervous that we won't have time to go to the bathroom before we get to start.
I guess they should have more stalls, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That might have been a good idea.
Well, hopefully you get there before the race starts. Okay, we're here at Peter Mills, and I see and I see a few people dressed in the same uniforms up there. Tell me about it.
Well, basically, it's our company is all about focusing about health and fitness and just youth health overall. We've always thought that sort of a good way to do that is to get people involved in sports. So we started a cycling team called Team Tokyo, and we're the largest cycling team on the island with 45 members. And we also have a running team, Team Tokyo, and we also are major sponsors of D&B Hope Academy. We're providing the kit. So our team is not all about sort of competition and winning. It's all about participation.
Exactly.
Congestion this year, aren't I?
Oh yeah. You guys are under control. Bermuda time in here.
Yeah.
Got it all under control as usual.
I think we did all right, a little bit better than last year, I think. We didn't have a big line at all. I think it lasted for about 15 minutes, and then we cleared everything out. It was really good.
Yeah, I would say the bathroom line is longer than you guys.
I think so, yeah, this year. Half as many bathrooms.
Yeah, the moment of truth, Mike. And they're off. May 24, 2010. Leaving Somerset. Some 761 runners, as you mentioned, Mike. A lot of these runners have prepared for months in preparation of this race. I call it the Olympics of our Bermuda running scene.
Well, the big question is, can this gentleman seen here, Chris Astonick, can he pull off a three-peat? Something not done too often on these on local roads here. Or can his wife bounce back from having little summers and dethrone Victoria Fiddick?
Yep, and we know that Chris has shown great running form this season. His times have been impressive. And so I predicted him to be a three-time champion. The last three-time champion was our very own Terrence Armstrong.
Now, I saw it as a three-man race coming in here because, as you know, Lamont Marshall, he was tearing up the roads with PBs, personal best, Bermuda records in the 5K, 10K, and he was really, really in the best shape of his life overseas. And then you had, of course, Tyler Butterfield. He was, after running a 70.3 triathlon, which is a half Ironman triathlon, he ran a 107 and a few ticks in Texas. As you can see here, Tyler right next to Jay Donowa coming down towards Port Royal. No sight of definitely Lamont Marshall back there, but Astronic is gone, and these two are running very comfortable in second and third, Larry.
Yep, two different types of athletes here. We know Jay certainly has finished second several times, May 24th, I believe 8 in total. I could be wrong. He's a true runner. He prefers that cross country running. He's lean. He kept himself in top shape. And talking about top shape, back to Chris Esvenick, who is still looking good. He exhibits great running form. And I think it's just him against the clock, whether he can lower his record that he set in 2008.
He's at the top of Scour Hill, and you can see in the distance there Jay Donowa and Tyler Butterfield. And he's already opened up somewhat 20-25 meters on second and third place. Jay is now firmly in second place at the top of Scour. Tyler, who's known to gain momentum and strength in the latter stages of the race, he's dropped off to third by a further 10 meters, and still no sign of the man who's really stronger over 5 miles or so, which is Lamont Marshall. We thought that he probably would have been running in second place at this stage, but still no sign of Lamont. Right now, a very good look at Jay on the downside of Scour Hill.
Nice to see Jay back running. Jay took an absence of the last 2 years, but nice to see him back competing. Tyler, a professional triathlete. We know he comes from a family where his genes certainly are athletic, and Tyler has shown some impressive times. We know soon Tyler can win this race one day. We know that Lamont Marshall has the potential to win this race one day in the near future as well. So, Chris right now is, in my opinion, just a little notch above these competitors. But certainly they're closing in, and they're closing in fast.
And while you were speaking there, Larry, for those of you who have exceptional vision, if you look behind Tyler, you see just a blur of a person just coming into view way back there behind Tyler. Lamont Marshall is for the first time coming into view. So we've got the second, third, and fourth place runners there. As you saw just now, Chris Estronick has opened up quite a bit of a lead. So Tyler is within striking distance of Jay, and Lamont is now moving into the fold and within striking distance of Tyler. So here's the man up front, Chris Estronick here. Just for those of you who like to know some of his times, his best time in the 800 meters is 1:48.5, 1500 meters 3:38.29, 3000 meters 7:50, 5000 meters 13 minutes 41. His best 10 miles is 50 minutes and 37 seconds. His best half marathon is 1:08.25. Question is, can he break that today in these conditions?
Well, certainly time will tell, Mike. We know that Chris has that track background. You saw those impressive times. The one that stands out is that sub 14-minute 5K, 13:41. So we know he has that leg speed, and that leg speed is what has carried him to this point. In my opinion, most of these runners today decided to run the earn race. And so Chris, he's a front runner. He likes run that 5-minute pace. The other runners, feeling that perhaps that would be too fast for them in the early going, decided just to run the earn race. So that's what we see today. Chris running his earn race, Jay Donowa running his earn race, Tyler running his earn race, and Lamont Marshall running his earn race.
We're on Hog Bay level, and Lamont Marshall is pulled in. Tyler Butterfield, he's now running in third back there, and closing in fast on Jay Donowa, approaching the White Hill area there. Jay takes a glance over his shoulder, so he knows something's happened back there, but it's like a freight train coming is Lamont Marshall.
Yep, this is still early in the race, Mike. We know that Chris is out front. Now Lamont deciding to go out a little bit easier, finding his legs, getting his rhythm together. Now he's coming up on Jay and getting ready to pass just as they approach White Hill. And you see the umbrellas out. That day was strictly wet and a bit humid as well. Although it wasn't hot, it was humid and it was wet. But we see Lamont now coming into form, and we see Jay perhaps deciding not to let him go just yet. Still early in the race.
And should mention this is around what, mile 4, mile?
Not quite, Mike. Just coming up to 2.5 miles. The 2-mile marker was just at the old hitching post building back down the road.
Between 2 and 3.
Correct. 3 miles is just down past the gas station at Port Royal there.
And Lamont is just warming up.
He is. But we know warming up.
In second place.
Correct.
So still, all Chris Astunick out there. We're between miles 2 and 3. And Marshall has really closed in past Tyler Butterfield, past Jay Donowa. He's now pulling away from Donowa as he's starting the downgrade towards the Port Royal right there.
Correct, yeah. And we know this year, Lamont focused on the shorter distances, the 800 meters to 1,500 meters. And certainly you could see that he was able to improve his times over those shorter distances. The challenge he had was whether he would be able to carry that speed and endurance over 13 miles. And we know May 24th course is not a flat 13 miles. It is probably the most challenging half marathon race in the world.
I would like a bike to take me over Brent Hill. I did it once, Larry, and that was enough for me.
I'm actually competing in this race today myself, and I tell you, this race is certainly one that you have to train and prepare months in advance. And even on the day, you can still not have the type of race that you're perhaps capable of because of the conditions and the hilly terrain. But I tell you what, through it all, the fans, they are of huge support on our Bermuda Day holiday.
And now the chasing pack here, Larry, it looks like Mark Morrison.
Yeah, he's looking good. Mark has got some training back on his belt, looking very fast and fit again. And he's followed there by a runner that I know.
Santa Russell's coming through here, also Chris Harris.
Yep.
And there's the leading lady,
Chris Eswanek, and she's looking very comfortable. Ashley, not
Stephen
Chris.
Allen coming through here.
Yeah, police officer. He's put his training in.
Look at Sylvester Jean-Pierre. He's one of the masters.
Yes, and Sylvester, consistent training. Here is Otis Robinson. We know Otis, like Lamont's, been running a lot of short races overseas in preparation for May 24th.
Running styles. I could pick up Colin Swan's running style anywhere, the fireman.
Yep, and you see the youth here. There's Trey Simons, the young junior 1,500 meter runner in that early pack, looking comfortable and well. You see look at the children on the side clapping the runners on.
Victoria Fiddick in the mix there.
Yep, she's in second place, female at this point. Getting a lot of support from the fans right to the right of the screen. But that's what May 24th is all about, Mike. It's about being able to get in some consistent training and to be able to showcase it on this day, Bermuda Day. There's
Larry?
Yep, Larry Socky Simons. There is Dion Bury. She's one of the top ladies as well.
Edwin Armstrong going through.
Yep, Barbara Edwin Armstrong, the brother of Terrence Armstrong. So he's continuing with the baton. Here's another group of runners here. Triathlete number 258.
Karen Bordage going through.
Yep, she's a triathlete, and she's certainly one of the top lady competitors as well. And here are some other runners. You see the pace here, perhaps around that 6.5 minutes. So these runners here, they have put in their work, and they are fast runners. Let it be no mistake about it.
Still lots of miles to go, Larry.
Yep, just shy of 2 miles, so they're 1.75 minus 13.1.
McMullen sisters.
Yep, Karen Smith, triathlete Karen Smith as well, completed that Iron Man triathlon along with Julia Hawley and Karen Bardage several months ago, so she's fit. See other runners coming along here, got their hats on. There's Charlene Souza, fitness instructor, the Olympic Club. Talked to her quite often. Steve Burgess. Steve, the former Rabbit Burgess.
Just lost his record, but he's Philip. Oh boy.
Yep, Philip O'Boy still looks in great shape. He's the same weight as he was when he was 20 years old.
Kevin, 9-time former champion.
Yep, Kevin Smith now running today for raising funds for the committee of 25, which is for the handicapped.
Eddie Fisher
got his handkerchief wrapped around his head, keeping the raindrops off.
There's Smith going through Chase's father.
Yep, George does a lot of running. There's race one.
That's right.
72-year-old race one coming along and looking
Tamika Williams
comfortable.
slipped through there also.
Yep. Kenny Thompson, soccer coach. He could barely make out his face. Kenny Thompson running through. Yep. But all these runners, you see, they're making sure they're saving enough tank,
Here's
gas to tank. Yep.
Anthony Machette.
Yep. Jubal Machette's father.
Right.
Running the 13-mile distance today. There's Andre Simons running through. I know a few of them. Randall Abel.
Oh, numerous runners.
You take a turn,
Godfrey.
Mike.
Look at Godfrey going
Yep,
through
Earl
there.
Godfrey back on the scene, former cycling great.
A few PHC players coming through also.
Yep, Sean Simmons, to name a few. Yep. You see these athletes have prepared. They may not be running like Chris Eswanick or Ashley, the ladies, but they have prepared. They have done the preparation. Some have signed up for the August Challenge.
Mike Swan.
Yep, to name a few. And you see these runners now, they know this what they've been training at, so they're running this race to finish. They're not looking for world records. They're just running to be able to get home to the finish line and say, I finished.
Tyler.
And there's Tyler Butterfield now. You know, Tyler, I looked at him up at the start of the race, and he certainly looked extremely fit. That triathlon training is certainly paying off for him. Most triathletes certainly have strong upper body because that swimming, you know, the preparation with the swimming certainly has their upper body very strong. So Tyler looks very well at this point.
Yep. If I didn't have my glasses on, you know what I'd say? That was Jim Butterfield. I mean, he is the, if you didn't know better, Bermuda's first Ironman out there. I mean, like father, like son.
Correct. And when Jim competed in the Hawaii Ironman, I believe he came 7th.
That's correct.
Which is an amazing feat, you know. And like you said, the similar sort of running form. Jim had high knee lifts, very strong stature, strong individual, and Tyler exhibits the same credentials.
Back to the front with Astunik, Chris Astunik, two-time defending champion en route to possibly a three-peat. And he's looking comfortable there, approaching, is it Barnes's Corner, and it's definitely around 4 miles or so. And there's your leader right now, looking comfortable. As we've mentioned, he has some really startling statistics. He's one of a few people who've actually have gone under a mile, sub 4 miles. So, and he's looking so comfortable, Larry.
He is. I've seen him out mornings, he and his wife pushing the stroller, making sure he gets his base training in. I talked to him, and he told me that this year, compared to last year, he decided to do more longer interval type training because of the conditions and of course the heat to this race. That is like no other.
See there, taking in a bit of liquids, refreshments, and also here comes Lamont Marshall, still in search of his first ever Bermuda Day title, but he's got a big man in front of him. Here's runner number 3, Jay Donowa, also taking in the liquids. And we'll see, it's, Tyler Butterfield, top 4, passing Barnes's Corner.
Correct, and they're all looking strong at this point.
Here we go. Top or leading lady, Ashley Astrunik is in the picture there. Marky Morrison is also right close to her. And then we believe it's Chris Harris also in the mix.
Yep. And this is Ashley, and we know Ashley herself has a strong track background. She too, like Chris, comes from a family of speedster. Her mother, Peggy Cooper. We see Mark Morrison try to give Ashley a little challenge right now, running in front of her. Both looking comfortable at this point, just rounding the bend, Barnes Corner. And Ashley, having set the record on the Front Street Mile for a sub 5-minute mile, 4:55, I think unofficially. I could be wrong, but she has a lot of speed, and today she was challenging Victoria Fiddick, who won it last year. But Ashley, now having given birth, is now back in fine form, and her husband able to train together or certainly help one another in their parental duties so the other can get their training in. And you see that that training is now showing up here on the big day where it counts most, May 24th.
Approaching 5-Star Island, and we've got a lady in the top 10, Ashley Astrunik, 2008 champion. Back then, she also set the record, and it was 1:23, 1 hour 23 minutes and a bit. And she's really running well. It's not too often we have a lady in the top 3, but Chris Harris, he's also in the orange short and black shorts, looking very comfortable. And as you can see, it's a little give and take for Marky Morrison and Ashley Aspenick. Here's the big guy, Chris Aspenick. He's already in the marketplace area, and pretty soon it's going to be passing a very nice crowd, even though umbrellas are out because of the inclement weather. He's going to be passing a large crowd that usually gathers in the marketplace Southampton area. Here he comes now.
Yep. And in addition to the rain, there was actually a headwind, so runners had to face a headwind coming out of Somerset for the first time in years. You know, so it's like, as a runner, do you like the heat and high humidity, or do you like the cloud cover, humidity, and wind? Pick your choice. They're both running in tough conditions.
Larry, he looks almost as if he's still in the first mile, but here's going to be the test. Let's check his running style. The head comes down, he leans into Burnt House Hill, the largest incline on the course, and let's see what sort of cadences he encounters going up this hill there. Does he stay upright? Does he lower the hands? Very easy running style. It's hard to tell that he's even on a hill. That's how good his running form is, Larry.
Yep, I was just looking at his torso, and you can see it's still upright with his neck, which means that he's not struggling at this point. His arms are pumping, so that's going to keep his legs lifting. You know, the fan support is going to help a lot as well. You know, and you see the fans got their umbrellas, just enjoying the runners as they come up, giving them much support. Lamont Marshall coming up now in second place. You see Lamont kind of swerves a little bit more as opposed to Chris being more upright. But the fans are just waiting for this day, waiting for these runners, and very appreciative of that.
Tyler has passed Jay.
Yep, Tyler. Now you see that Ironman, that training, the triathlon training is now showing up. And the hills and humidity certainly favors those strength athletes.
And here comes Chris Harris, and followed very closely by the leading lady, Ashley Aspenick.
Yeah,
passing Arash on the side there, starting a little early.
Yeah, she's looking good. She's still looking strong herself coming up this hill. This is certainly always a grueling hill. Just this last part, the last 20 meters of Burnt House Hill is a challenge. But once you get over it, you're able to go sort of relax and let your legs open up on the downhill portion. But you have to get over this part first.
I think it's truly amazing in itself, Larry, that you see a lady to go out inside the top 10 and hold her own and cover the top and the toughest part of the course, getting over Burnt House Hill. You can see, she's feeling it a bit, but she's right on course there for a really good time. And as you mentioned earlier, in a headwind.
Yep. She reminds me of Sandra Mewett. Sandra Mewett certainly ran one of the fastest half marathon times. And I certainly would like to know what was the exact length of that course when she ran a sub 120, 119, 50-something, Mike.
Tyler Butterfield really turning it on. He's running faster now than in the first mile.
Yeah, he picked up his cadence. He certainly ran out conservatively. So you see now he's able to run some perhaps negative splits, we call them. We're able to run the second half of the race faster mile split times than the first half. That's called negative split running. And you see Lamont's upright a bit, leaning back, his form just deteriorating a little bit. And that comes from a little bit of fatigue. But we know that Lamont has a lot of guts. And so it's going to take guts to hold off Tyler Butterfield, who is currently in third place.
Chris Aspenick approaching Hamilton. Rain all the way down from Somerset to Hamilton. And the two-time defending champion is now some 2 miles or so away from that finish line, and possibly it's going to be close. I don't know how close it's going to be for that record, but we know that it's pretty close at this stage.
Yep, Chris still looks good. His form, his knees are still lifting. You see the fans are encouraging, and you know part of running a 108 or 109, which is the times that Chris has run, is the fans make a huge difference. And you see he's now up on East Broadway heading towards Front Street. You see he's taking some deep breaths, but he's got his cadence, his arm arm swing is still looking good. His legs are still looking comfortable. He doesn't look like he's hurting, but he's certainly keeping that stride, keeping that form.
Just wanted to make mention real quick here as we see him going into Hamilton. Some of the champions, like Terrence is a 3-time champion, Kevin Smith, 9-time former winner, Tracy Wright 2 times, Michael Watson 4, Tony Ryan 3, Cal Bean has won it 5 times, Calvin Boldy Hemsey 4 times, Neville Virgil twice, Ed Sherlock 6, Arthur Lambert 4, Sir Stanley Burgess now 6, and these are the likes that, you know, it's a 13.1 mile course, and Chris Estunick's record set in 2008 is 108.25, and so he's now well on his way onto Front Street there and pretty much close to record time.
Yeah, he is, Mike. He's looking good. You see his cadence has picked up. This part of the course is a little dawn red. He's got good momentum, so you see his cadence has just increased, his speed increased just a little bit. And talking about Chris going on looking for number 3, just to win one race, one May 24th, you know, you feel like Superman, but to win it twice.
I felt
3
like
times.
Superman just finishing.
Yeah, you should, because this course is a tough course. It's a very tough course, and it's a course that you need to train to do well.
Here he's made the turn from Front Street onto Queen Street, and it's a one-man race out there, even though Tyler Butterfield is really closing in fast, and Lamont Marshall back there, Jay Donovan also running in 4th, but it's still very, very comfortable looking. Chris Estunick, who's well on his way, barring any unforeseen circumstances, of pulling off a rear 3-peat.
Yep, I think of Kevin Smith, who won it 9 times, and I think all his 9 victories, he ran all by himself. And it's tough, you know, because you have to keep the momentum going, especially if you know you're on racket pace, just you against the course, against the elements. But the fans do, they make the big difference. They're the X factor. You see Chris now look like he's just hurting just a little bit now. He's just turning up on King Street. This is an uphill climb. So this is going to challenge him right here. This could be where the racket can fall, and now he's off on to Victoria Street heading down. He can gain some momentum by running off field. Once again, he can get his legs back underneath of him, and perhaps you look at his watch to see if he's inside or anywhere near that racket, and then perhaps have a go at it.
Still good running motion there, but you can see in his face, even though he's smiling, he's probably aware that with a little extra effort here, I can get around that 108.25. But you know, at that stage of the race, you're saying, should I just settle for the win, or do I want the record?
It's hard to say. We know Chris is a competitor. He's been running all his life. He's had head-to-head competition in the States during his track background. But we know that when you have that kind of background, we know that your intensity, and the fact that you're courageous and fearless, and if you have a record in sight, we know that you will grit, you would sprint, you would do everything you can to obtain those goals.
He's now approaching the tennis stadium area, and Tyler Butterfield is really now in sole position, 2nd place. He's really past Lamont Marshall now, and as you could see here, he could probably hear the announcer down there on the field, Rich Lathan, and it's right now Chris Estunick there, but Tyler Butterfield is definitely running in 2nd place. He's making the turn onto Dutton Avenue, so Tyler has really closed in, and he's definitely running 2nd, but right now it's all Chris Estunick. Here he approaches the finish line there at Dutton Avenue. Look at that running form after 13 miles of running, and he crosses the finish line, 108.47, 22 seconds outside of his record. Tyler takes 2nd place honors overall in the 20 to 39 age group in 111.01. What a good run by him, and 3rd place honors, and that's the 2nd time Tyler has finished 2nd there, and that's the 3rd time that Lamont Marshall has finished 3rd. So the top 3 now, 112.24 for Lamont, and then the man himself, Albert J. Donovan, 4th overall, and Donovan finishes in 114.13. And the top lady, Larry, what a performance. Here you see the Estunicks right there, a performance in itself. Ashley Estunick, a rare performance to see a lady finish in the top 10. She finishes 7th overall. New record, Bermuda record time for the lady, 121.58.
Yeah, well done by a husband and wife duo. They're both trained, they support one another, and the results are evident right there.